Hey, he looks like a nice buck. We headed out to eastern Montana to meet up with my dad and see if we could get him his first mule deer buck. When he gets up, Dad's 6 inches above his back. There you go, Pops, get ready. Wait till he stops. And the last day, producer Andy had a chance at a beautiful mule deer buck. Here he comes. Dang it, he's going the other way. His head's sticking up, he's walking towards us. That's the buck we were after. Beautiful buck. There's your shot. Montana is loaded with block management areas and public ground that host an abundance of whitetail and mule deer. Well, perfect, Pops. You should be good. We're shooting these 180 grain Barnes tip triple shock bullets. It's pretty incredible. A solid copper, they get great penetration. Wow. But that little blue tip will open up just a little bit, and then that bullet will stay solid and go all the way through the animal. This new Bergara B14 Hunter, exactly like the old Remington 700 action, except you can keep it in safe as you load and unload your gun.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about that.
Yeah, the 700 was pretty messed up like that, but this is awesome. Bergara's got it figured out. This is the Leupold VX6 3x18 power scope, phenomenal scope. Should be in real good shape, but look at the clarity, it's incredible, Pops. And I got you zoomed all the way in right now. We fired a few rounds to make sure my dad was dialed in and we were ready for the hunt. How most of these work, a lot of them are you just go do your sign in the sign-in box, take the sheet with you, leave the other sheet so the landowner can get some money for each hunter that comes in here. And I'm going to go ahead and get us signed in, me and my dad, and we'll get signed in here and see if we can find a good deer on this property. Quite a bit of land here. It's awesome. Montana does a great job finding property for us hunters. Well, we're sitting here cruising. Came across a bunch of muleys here. Another block management unit. There's block management units all over Montana. What a beautiful spot we're in right here. Just see some actually bucks out here. I see I think 2 bucks and a handful of does. Gonna try to get a good eyeball on them and see if they're worth going after. My dad's getting older, so I cherish every moment we have to hunt together. I grew up hunting with him, and he's taught me so much, and now it was my turn to bring him into an animal that he's never harvested before.
Yeah, he looks pretty nice. Looks like he's got pretty good mass on him.
Yeah, he's a nice 4-point. What do you think?
I think that would be the biggest mule deer I ever shot in my life.
Yeah. Hey, he looks like a nice buck. Do you want to try to figure out how to sneak up on him, Pops?
Yeah, but the way I would go would be down here and then slide along the edge of that field and use
my biggest concern though, Pops, is we used to have a big drop right there. We got that huge creek going through there. We gotta get to the other side of it. But there's big machinery over there, so there's gotta be a bridge somewhere.
Yeah.
So let's take a look. Let me take a look again, Dad. There should be a road going across that. We can look on the map,
okay.
That BMA map. Mm-hmm. And I think he'd be a good one for you though.
Yeah.
You think so? You agree?
Yes, sir. He's good. He seems to have.
He's a pretty good buck for what we've seen, Dad. He's a pretty nice buck.
Yeah, he's got pretty nice mass.
Right here in this one spot, we just glassed about 50 deer. Looks like a really good hot spot. I think we're gonna have to get down, figure out how to get across that ditch. It looks like some really steep, straight up wall banks. So if we can find a bridge to get across, we can get over there, and then we'll have to work our way over and try to get a shot on him. Good buck, just bedded down, does all around him. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now we just gotta see if we can get the old man to the animals.
Yeah.
I love hunting with you, Pops. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
You've been showing me animals my whole life. Now it's time for me to show you animals.
Well, I really appreciate it.
Bet you've done a lot of firsts for me, getting me my first deer and all kinds of other animals, Pops, and now I gotta try to get you out and get you your first mule deer buck.
And those are all real precious memories to me.
I'm using my Onyx maps here to try to figure out how to get across the creek. We'll see what we can pull together. It's gonna have to be a good plan because it's a lot of open country and there's a lot of deer around there. We can get all the way in there with my dad. He's got a hard time getting around these days. So we get all the way in there and the deer could spook. It's just part of hunting. But we're gonna give it a shot. I think we got a good plan ahead of us right now. Get down to this next little spot and then we'll have to hike all the way back in and around.
Montana Full Circle is brought to you by Loophole Optics, Slumberjack, and Bergara.
We better get rolling because we got a long walk ahead of us. Walk as fast as you can now.
Okay.
And then as we start stalking and stuff, we'll slow it down. But right now, cover ground as best as you can. We got an easy road to walk on.
Yep.
Let's cover some ground.
And this looks like it goes pretty close to the corner of that field.
This is by far the easiest way to go, exactly. And then we're going to maybe stay down in the creek bottom if we can, pop up. It's going to be a tight one. I don't know if we can make it happen. Let's see if we can do what you taught me.
Let's develop the problem.
Hey, you're walking pretty good, Dad. We gotta devise a plan and make it happen. I'm not quite sure how to do this yet. We need to try to hook this bank. I'm just worried about them seeing us and boogie in. But that buck's bedded right where we can get at him. Take a shot from the fence. Should be right about 300 yards. Okay? The fence is just another 100 yards right there. We go to that low swale. We sneak up. You lay down or however you want to do it and rest. Because that buck's right there. He's a beautiful buck. He's still bedded down, so you can set up on him. You see him? Wait till he stands up, okay? Just wait till he stands up. Left of the machines. You see all those does? He's bedded just to the right. Do you see him now? Zoom out just a little bit. When he gets up, Dad, 6 inches above his back. Come on, buddy, step up, please. Please stand up. He's probably 24 inches wide. 22 inches tall. He's got nice brow tines. You're not getting excited, are you, Dad? Gosh, he's beautiful. Isn't he just magnificent? The light was fading. We were waiting for that buck to stand up. It seemed like an eternity. There you go, Pops. Get ready. Wait till he stops. Like I said, just 6 inches above his back. Get back on him, Dad. My dad took that shot and we thought it was a hit, but as we watched him, we realized my dad had missed. I don't know, Dad. It might have just been a clean miss. Well, he's just chasing a doe.
I guess that tells us everything we need to know.
It looked like a clean miss then. I'll keep watching, and I feel like no matter what, I don't want to push him tonight if we don't see him drop. I think we come back tomorrow, whether to find him alive or dead, and try to get back on him though, because he's a stud of a buck. But that first shot, it looked amazing. He is not spooked at all.
No.
Let's watch him for a while, Dad, and then we'll just back out of here, and we'll come back tomorrow. Whether he was here and alive or here and dead, we'll find him. But he's not acting like he's hurt.
No, but he's just not acting sick.
No, he's not. He's not acting sick at all.
You guys worked so hard.
Don't be sorry, Dad.
I didn't close the deer.
Yeah, well, let's just take it easy and watch him, see what happens. But Dad, all those deer are going to be right back down here tomorrow. We got back there first thing in the morning to try to go after that same buck. And wouldn't you know it, hunting public land in these block management areas, there was other hunters there. It was a smaller area, so we decided to leave. And we found out later on that guy had harvested that nice buck. That's just the way it goes in public land when you're hunting these areas. We need to work as a team, as hunters and other hunters. If someone's there, we just walked away, we did the right thing. It was a shame though, my dad really had his heart set on that buck. It happens.
Yeah.
But you know what?
There's always tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow. And we'll be back to check on him. We'll go back up there, and if we see him, we'll smoke him, and if we don't see him, we'll go back up and make sure there's no blood. But day one, Dad, doesn't get any better than this.
No.
We got all week.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, let's go walk off into the sunset. After we brought my buck back to camp, we found out my dad, my brother, and his buddy all harvested their first mule deer buck. It was a great night in camp. Well, you guys, it's been a heck of a trip. Finally was able to get out, chase some mule deer bucks. You guys all tagged out on those. I was looking for a whitetail. Seen a little better ones, but good buck, great stories, man. Just another thing that we can get after every year. You know, I was able to take this beautiful Tom this morning. I mean, we've just had a great trip, absolutely great trip. Staying in the nice wall tents, Western wall tents kept us warm. I mean, what a fantastic trip. I think we need to gear up here, go get dinner, and you guys can start getting loaded up for your long drive home. Well, you guys, good job, great trip. It looks like we got a lot of work ahead of us to get these quartered up tonight for y'all, so let's get it wrapped up. It's starting to rain on us. We better get rolling. Yep. Fantastic trip.
Montana Full Circle is brought to you by Buffalo Bore Ammunition, strictly business, and Montana Department of Agriculture reminds you to educate yourself on the harmful effects of noxious weeds.
Russian olive is a perennial tree or shrub that is native to Europe and Asia. It was once thought to be a beneficial windbreak, wildlife food source, and good erosion control, but the tree has since been deemed detrimental to the environment. It became a popular, fast-growing ornamental in yards across the nation. This dominating species quickly escaped cultivation. Russian olive quickly takes over stream banks, floodplains, fields, and open areas, choking out native vegetation of riparian habitat. It outcompetes native plants, interferes with plant succession, and taxes water reserves. Russian olive can reproduce by seed or root suckers. Seeds are readily spread by birds and can remain viable for up to 3 years. However, it does provide a plentiful source of edible fruits for birds. Key features include silvery white leaves, the branches have 1 to 2 inch thorns, and the olives are yellow to red on mature trees. Integrated weed management treatment of this noxious weed offers the most effective combination of control because it is difficult to remove once it gets established. Cutting the trees to a stump and spraying with appropriate herbicide and removing the sapling by hand are the best methods. The most important thing about noxious weeds is to educate yourself to protect the landscape for wildlife and future generations. If you think you have noxious weeds, contact your local weed district, extension office, or Department of Agriculture. The last day in eastern Montana, we'd all tagged out except for producer Andy. So it was his turn to get behind the gun. I grabbed the camera and off we were looking for a big buck.
They're in full rut right now. They could walk over the ridge. They could be running right up towards us. You never know. But yeah, beautiful country. You know, we've been using Onyx maps like crazy. You know, they show exactly where we are, what's public, what we can access. So we got another chunk of state up the road. Thought we saw a pretty good buck go over the hill this morning, so we chased him, but that didn't work out. But we'll go check it out, see if he came back across.
We spotted a great buck, but we realized he was on private property, so we looked at Onyx maps, and he only had to come about 50 to 100 yards, and he'd be on a state section. We could get a shot at him. And we laid there and waited for a long time, and that buck wasn't moving.
We got does right down here, so we can't really do much. And basically just have to hope he gets up from his nap and comes this way. We can get easily probably within 300-yard shot if he comes over to the BLM piece. But for right now, it's just a waiting game. We're gonna have to just wait it out and see if he wants to get up and feed a little bit. Maybe come over and check these does and see if they're hot or not. Switching his tail and stuff. Here he comes. When he gets close, I'll tell you how far.
He was heading straight for us. We thought for sure we were going to have a shot, and he bedded down again.
Dude, that's like right on the border. 375. If they come closer, I'd shoot them. I'd wait. He's too far out. Not on the right property. Dang it, he's going the other way.
Of course, he gets up, heads the wrong direction once again, and beds down. And he's laying back down. The next time he got up, he was over the hill and gone. We decided to pick up our stuff and head on and try to find another buck.
Montana Full Circle is brought to you by Shedhorn Cellars, Bog Pod, and Nanook.
He's a nice buck. It's a good four boy. I think he's got brow tines too. All right, dude. Let's go get him.
We found a buck that was on some state ground. However, that state chunk was landlocked. But with Montana's stream access laws, we can walk below the high water mark in a creek to access public land. And that was our ticket to finding this buck. We followed the creek up. We had our landmarks. We knew where we had to come out of the creek.
This doesn't look very thick. It really doesn't look thick at all.
That's not gonna work. All right, plan B. As soon as we popped out of that creek, we had that buck at 80 yards.
He's only a 3x3 though. This other buck's bigger. We'll get on the one on the left. His head's sticking up. He's walking towards us. He's a 4x4. That's the buck we were after. Beautiful buck. When he turns and gives you a broadside shot, make sure that doe in the back's clear. That's clear if you get a shot. Stop. Just hold right on him. He's right behind those does. I'm still on him. Okay. There's your shot. Good hit.
Where'd he go?
Down.
Get on him again.
Shoot him again, dude. Good hit. Yeah, buddy.
Montana Full Circle is brought to you by these fine sponsors. And Bitterroot Brewing. After the hunt, enjoy Montana's best brew.
What the hell of a sneak you put me on.
Well, we did it. You didn't want to cross that creek back there, but we didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
That was it.
Worth the wet boots.
Producer Andy's always behind the camera, so it was nice for him to get behind the gun for a change and have a chance at a nice buck. A sharp knife's a safe knife. It's always important to make sure your knife's sharpened. If not, you're working too hard, knife slips, you can cut yourself. So always keep your knife sharp. The way I do it, I just got this wonderful little Chef's Choice sharpener. It's got a 2-stage sharpening. It's phenomenal. Just quick, easy, small, light, and works great. Well, Andy got in a car a couple years ago, and I promised him if he shot a deer today, quite a ways away, I'd pack it for him. And here we go, got the whole deer here in the pack. This lumberjack pack sure hold the meat real well, but there's no way to drag this deer out of here. I've packed out probably at least half a dozen animals this year alone with this thing. Fantastic backpack, it's got great features, lots of lashing, and it's really comfortable. So, got him loaded up. Congratulations again, Andy.
Thanks, buddy.
To be legal, we had to come out the same way we went in, and it was way too far to drag that buck. We got him all quartered up and we hiked out with a big grin. hear the ice cracking. Pretty crazy. Oh, water's filling up. Whew. Almost there. Now some sketchy creek bottom walking. Long pack, but we made it back to the truck. I only fell in once and couldn't get up. I had to take my pack off, but made it out. That Onyx Maps is pretty impressive. You know, we were able to access the state ground by walking through the high water mark, below the high water mark in this creek, able to access a whole section of state land that otherwise would be inaccessible. It's really important to know the laws and what you can do, and that makes for a successful hunt. But none of our deer we got this whole week could have been possible without Onyx Maps. Absolutely a lifesaver knowing the block managements and the private property, public property. It's just amazing, but another beautiful buck for the house. We'll get them home, head back and get camp packed up and head on our way. Another great trip here in Montana.
Make sure to catch up on seasons 1 and 2 of Montana Full Circle on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.